Hi guys, I am Glenn Latier, also known on the interwebs as Mr. Crafty Man. So there's a couple things I want to talk to you about today. And the last video I posted, I had mentioned if anybody had questions, go ahead and ask. So we did have some questions, and that's what I want to talk about today. But before we get into the questions, I want to mention a situation that people had been speaking about in the Facebook group, and they were talking about how the keto bread that Walmart used to sell is not sold there anymore. And that was quite a bummer because that was something I bought all the time. But good news. Now Walmart has a new bread. Remember the other one was like net 2 bread? Well, this here is a zero carb. It's a net zero carb keto bread. And this one here just happens to be Hawaiian flavored. They have this in 3 flavors. They have it in white, Hawaiian, and they have it in the seeded. And I have all 3. I haven't tried this one here yet. I probably will this evening. But I have been eating the white. The white does almost nothing to my blood sugar. So that is really, really good news. And I waited about, probably about 2 hours to check my blood sugar, and there was just a really, really slight rise. So again, this bread, I forgot to mention the name of it to you. It's called Lewis Bake Shop. And you can see it there. Sorry if I'm moving funny. I somehow injured my shoulder within the last 3 weeks, and I thought it was like tight muscles, so I went and got a deep tissue massage, and I told the girl I wanted it really, really rough to work that knot out, and it seemed to have kind of injured it worse. And to make matters worse, this coming weekend I have a Spartan trifecta coming up in Phoenix. So injured or not, I'm going to do that. I've already paid for the airline tickets, the hotel, the car, and the event, so I'll figure it out. So one of the questions we had was from Jonathan, and Jonathan, kind of like almost everyone else who has ever been in the group, when you're new to the group, you're kind of afraid to eat. You're wondering what you can eat, what you can't eat. And one of the questions that he had is, do we need to avoid phosphorus and potassium altogether, or is there a certain amount that we should be eating? And most of you are trying to avoid it. A lot of you kind of go overboard, and you're avoiding almost anything that you feel could do any harm whatsoever. But the truth is the things that you're avoiding, our body needs a certain amount of. So the phosphorus, we need 800 to 1,000 milligrams of phosphorus per day, and the potassium, we need 1,500 to 2,000 milligrams per day. So don't avoid this altogether. Something else that I've been seeing over and over in the Facebook group, and every time I see this, I know that people have not been watching the videos. Even the video that when you go to join the group, you click to agree that you did watch it. People are coming into the group saying, hey, what's Glenn's plan? Where can I find Glenn's plan? Well, if you had actually watched the video, the plan is in the video. It's in my 1 hour and 4 minute video. And to make it easier for you, when you're joining the group and you click that little box saying you watched the video, the link to the video is right there. So you're totally overlooking the video, and it does cause a lot of confusion and problems in the group when people come in that have not watched the video. And at one time, I had thought about setting the Facebook admin robot or whatever it is that accepts and declines people up, or it would decline people that did not watch the video or boot people that didn't watch the video, but I figure everybody needs help. Everybody should be given a chance, so I don't do that. The only people that are being booted out of the group are people who are either causing problems, or every so often a scammer gets into the group and starts advertising or something like that. The Facebook algorithm will auto decline people, and I think there's a few of you in the group that had been auto declined that messaged me, and I personally brought you into the group. But it's looking at how long you've had a Facebook profile and how active you are and that sort of thing. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about, this is something that I mentioned in one of my videos, and this here has come up time and time again in the Facebook group as well. And what people are saying is, oh, this program's not working for me. It's making me feel like crap. It's the Albutrix. The Albutrix is making me feel like crap. I thought I could do this, but I've just got to quit it. That's bull crap. That is not what is making you feel like crap. What's making you feel like crap is your body normalizing. So especially if you've got diabetes and high blood pressure. Once you start eating plant-based, your body is so used to having high blood sugar that as your blood sugar goes down and it reaches normal levels, you're getting all jittery and everything. And your body is telling you, I need to eat something, I need to eat something, I need to eat something, because it's trying to get you to raise those blood sugar levels up to where it's used to having them at like 200 and something or 300 and something. Or in my case, I had mine all the way up to 500. I think it was like 585. So you're going to feel crappy in that way as your blood sugar goes down to normal. That's probably only going to last for about 3 weeks. Something else that you're going to feel, and this is if you're doing the program properly, like if you're doing the cardio and everything, and you've got high blood pressure and the high blood sugar, you're going to start feeling dizzy. Every time you squat down and go to stand up, you're going to feel dizzy. The reason why is because, again, your body is normalizing. It's used to having high blood pressure, but now you're eating plant-based, you're eating right, and you're doing cardio, your heart is getting in better condition. So that blood pressure medication you're taking is actually becoming too much. So at that time, what my doctor did is my doctor cut that medication in half. And then I felt good again. And so I went about my business, still doing plant-based, still doing cardio. About 2 weeks later, I started getting dizzy again because my cardio was getting into even better condition. So at that time, they removed all of the blood pressure medication completely, and I was feeling fine. And also by that time, like a month into this, my blood sugar was normalized and I was not feeling jittery anymore. So yeah, you are going to feel like crap. Your body's going to be telling you it needs everything that's bad, everything that you had been eating before, everything you had been doing before, and you just got to power through it. Don't give into it. If you give into it, you may as well just roll over and die. Another question that keeps coming up again, and this is like almost every week, well, what part of your program is the most important? And I know why people are asking this, because there's certain parts of it they just don't want to do. Either they don't want to buy the Albutrix, or they don't want to do the plant-based, or they don't want to do the exercise portion of it. But I'll explain it to you again. It's kind of like a song. If you sit down at a piano and think of each key on the piano as a different part of my plan, and you just push one key at a time, sure, it makes a sound, but it's not music. When you push all of the keys at once, which means you're doing every step of the plan, you actually get music. So it's very important to do the entire plan. And remember, the start of this plan is identifying your motivation. And as I've said time and time again, not wanting to die isn't really motivation enough, even though it might seem like it. we all can get used to the idea of dying. We accept it, and we're like, well, I guess everybody's gonna die sooner or later, one way or another. And my motivation was that little baby grandson that I had. Okay, and the other thing that just keeps coming up, and this here is like my pet peeve, and what that is the Albutrix. I think just the day before yesterday, people were in there complaining, why is it so expensive? Why is a supplement so expensive? Why does it cost so much? Well, it is not a supplement. This is an FDA-approved medical food. And when we're talking about expensive, I want to kind of put things into proportion for you. So remember, this here is taking the place of half of our protein intake, basically half of the food that we're going to be eating, half of our groceries. So I was doing some calculations. My wife and I spend $900 a month on food. That means my half of that is about $450. And yeah, what's funny is that seems like a lot of money. And I remember growing up, vegetables were the cheap thing at the grocery store. Now vegetables have become the expensive thing at the grocery store. And it's much cheaper to eat things like cookies and pizza rolls and all this kind of stuff in the frozen food section. So this here costs me about $180 a month. And remember, this is taking the place of half of my food. So the cost of this is not even the price of half of my food. So I'm actually saving a couple bucks here. And I want to explain to you exactly what we use this for. And this here is the Microtrix. We get the Microtrix for free when we order the Albutrix. And something else I want to tell you is that each one of these tablets is 5 grams of protein. And that's something that people have had quite a bit of problem with also, is trying to figure out how much of this they should be eating. And remember, when we're trying to figure out our protein intake, if you're overweight, and also a lot of people are overweight but might not think they're overweight. So Google, like I'm 5'9", so Google, how much should a 5'9" man weigh? And then pick something in the middle. I picked 155 pounds. That was in the middle. Then what you're going to do is you're going to convert 155 pounds to kilograms. And then once you have converted it to kilograms, multiply that result by 0.6, and that's going to give you the total number of grams of protein that you're going to be eating per day. Divide that by 2, and you'll know how many Albutrix tablets you should be eating a day and how much protein from food you should be eating per day. And the protein is never hard to come up with this plant-based diet. What's really difficult to come up with is the calories. And that's where my shake comes in handy, and people are every so often say, boy, that has a lot of fat. That's got a lot of this in it. It has never had any ill effect whatsoever on my blood test results. I have had no problem with that whatsoever. So now I want to explain to you why we use the Albutrix, the plant-based or the FDA-approved medical food, not a supplement. Okay, here is why we use it. So, if you've watched my previous videos, you know that animal protein is the most difficult protein for the kidneys to process. So that's why we're eating plant-based, because plant-based protein is about half as difficult for the kidneys to process as animal-based protein. That's good, right? We're taking half the workload off of the kidneys. Well, guess what? Albutrix is about half as difficult for the kidneys to process as plant-based food. So when you think about it, that means we're taking 3/4 of the load off of our kidneys by eating plant-based and the other half in Albutrix. So that's great. And some people have asked, well, if it's only like 1/4 of the load, then why don't we just eat the Albutrix and nothing else? Well, because you can't do it. Because it does not have enough nutrients in it. So the way that I like to explain this, like protein leaking over into the urine, is I like to kind of explain that I have a cup. And the cup has maybe a small hole in the bottom, and we have another cup of water and we're pouring it inside slowly. And as we pour it inside, the water is slowly trickling out the bottom of it. And this cup here represents our kidneys. And the water we're pouring into it represents protein. So when we're taking 3/4 of the load off of our kidneys, it's very easy for us to load the protein in, and it's easy for the kidneys to handle the protein. But let's say we're eating the animal protein or eating too much protein, we take that same cup of water and we pour it in quickly, and you're going to notice that it's going to flood over the edges and out into our urine. So that is the reason. So basically, that's one of the ways that you get rid of the protein in your urine is by doing a very low protein diet. Okay. So I believe that is everything that I have got to cover this week. As far as the Albutrix goes, and I'm not a employee of Albutrix, by the way. I always mention that. I buy it just like you guys do. In our Facebook group, if you look up at the top where links are posted, you'll see we have our own tracking link for Albutrix. And don't subscribe to it, just go in there monthly and purchase it. So I had spoken to them at one time, and I've said this before too, and I had asked if we could get a discount, and they said, well, how many people in your group are taking the Albutrix? And I was like, oh, probably over half of them. And well, how many people is that? Well, that's not possible because we're only selling this number of bottles. So basically what we have is we have our own tracking link. Every time you click that link and you purchase through that link, it lets them know that someone in our group is purchasing it. And hopefully in the very near future, we'll be able to get like group discounts on this. So make sure you order it through that link in the Facebook group. But anyway, it has been really great talking to you guys this week. As always, go ahead and ask your questions in the comment section. I'm also going to post this video in the Facebook group, and the link to the Facebook group and the link to my website is going to be in the description of this video. So if you're not in the Facebook group, join the Facebook group. Oh, and one more question I got is someone emailed asking, am I still doing the video consultation calls? Yes, I am. If you go to my website, www.healthandwellnesshelp.com, you can schedule either a 30-minute or a 1-hour consultation. And also, I have a 90-day program in there. And what I want to say about that is all of my information is free. It's all in my videos on YouTube. But if you go through those videos and you have difficulties understanding it, or if you feel like you just need help, I will go through it with you. You can go onto my website and you can sign up for the 90-day plan, and we'll do weekly or bi-weekly video calls. We'll look at your blood test results, and we'll go over them with the help of a couple doctors who are in the group. So anyway, have a nice week. Ask questions if you've got them. Take care of yourself and each other. Just know that I pray for each and every one of you every day. Those of you who are in the Facebook group and those of you who are not in the Facebook group, those who are just watching the videos on YouTube. So again, take care of yourselves and each other.